What's up, everybody? Jason from Straight Edge. I just got another review for you today, guys. And, well, this one's coming from Turner CNC INC, guys. A little collaboration they did with a guy you might know as Ed Calderon, Ed's Manifesto, Sneakreaper Industries. And, guys, this is a sleeve machete. Oh, yeah, that just came out of my sleeve. This is the TJ sleeve machete, guys. Check this bad boy out. Woo, man, this is a thin, light, small, quick setup, man. And that was one of the things that Ed was going for when he wanted this thing designed. It has a very slim, super light profile, loosely based off of a Latin machete that they used to kind of modify. And it has a little bit more of a tip to it, so it's a little bit more for combatives, if you will, because if you guys know anything about Ed, he used to do a lot of stuff down there fighting cartels. So I don't know what all he did, but, you know, check out all the podcasts and stuff like that he's in. Very thin, very light profile setup. Guys, real quick before we head over to the table, check out what Ed had to say about this machete right now. I did an interview with him at Blade Show West. He lets you know the reasoning behind this design and what it's for. So check that out, and then we'll go over the tabletop. What's up, everybody? This is Jason from Straight Edge Knives. And if you don't know who this is, you don't know nothing, because this is Ed Calderon and Ed's Manifesto, Sneakreaper Industries, and he's got a new blade design or a collaboration design with Turner CNC, and he's going to tell us a little bit about it.
Turner has been one of the best companies to work with. They are end users, they're designers, students as well. So like all of them have the same kind of programming I do. A while back, I basically sent them a picture of something I modified myself. We used to take Chinese-made machetes and basically cut them down into this type of size, something you could slide maybe under a sheath, under a sleeve, or put in a backpack, and it wouldn't stick out. We were kind of discreet wherever we were moving around, so finding a weed field somewhere and having to chop some of the plants down, seeing irrigation hoses that we had to chop, we just needed something ready-made. So we would modify existing machetes. We would put a point on them, and I personally would make a divot on them so I would know where the edge is, which is a common feature on all the knives we do. Turner has been kind of changing the game with some of their sheath designs, and they made this very simple ambidextrous sheath to it, which is solid. Carried under the arm, carried in the sleeve, carry a crossbody samurai style. It is a very light, very functional little machete, basically. That's what this is. And the point on it makes it good for other things.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, thank you for explaining the design, the concept behind it. We greatly appreciate it. I'm going to have a full review on that coming out soon, so make sure you look for that. And where can everybody find you on all your... I know your stuff changes sometimes because of shadow bans and whatnot.
We are one of the most shadow banned pages on the planet. EdsManifesto.com or SneakReaperIndustries.com. You can find us there and find all our socials there.
All right, Ed. Thank you for taking the time. I know you're a super busy guy. We appreciate it. Go follow Ed, guys. He's full of knowledge. Every podcast you find with him on it, listen to it because you're going to learn something from it. All right, everybody. Stay safe. Stay sharp. All right, guys, how cool was that to actually hear from Ed himself on the design of this blade and what they kind of used it for and some of the different ways you could possibly carry it. I was super stoked to be able to talk to him about it. Anytime I get a chance to talk to Ed it's just awesome. The dude's a wealth of knowledge. The guy's he's pretty interesting cat, man. So definitely go follow him on all the platforms that he had just mentioned. Check him out, and then look for him on like Joe Rogan podcast, Sean Ryan podcast, all that stuff, guys. The guy is a wealth of information. You're going to learn a lot. So definitely go check them out. And before we get any further into this TJ Sleeve Machete, guys, I do have to give a quick word from our sponsors over at Wicked Industries, the makers of Wicked Wax and Wicked Clean. Guys, these are two great products that help keep my knives in tip-top shape, helps get all the gunk and whatnot on there. If I fail to clean my knife after I get done using it, get a little bit of rust on it, Wicked Clean, little 4-aught steel wool, takes it right off. It's ready to go. Put some Wicked Wax on there, cleans it up nice, keeps it protected, so if I forget again, I don't have that same issue. So two great products, guys. And then when you're done beating up your hands, your knees, your feet, and your elbows, they're all dried, cracked, and your wife's like, get away from me, alligator. Utilize Wicked Rescue, guys. You'll be nice, soft, supple, and smooth. and your significant other will be ready to cuddle with you again. The stuff works great, guys. I highly recommend it. And all made in USA, all food grade style products. Awesome company. Check them out. Wicked Industries. Description in the link below. So back to the sleeve machete, guys. So this thing, so there's a couple of things about this that I thought were really, really cool. I mean, check out this handle, man. Look at that. That is, I mean, the handle is super cool in and of itself, but you're looking at that. Wow, nice deer antler, bone, whatever. God, this is all 3D printed handle right here. Yeah, when I first saw it, I thought it was, you know, antler, stag, whatever you want to call it. No, it's all 3D, the 3D printed handle. They actually, you know, put the texturing in there and hand painted these, and they, at first glance, when you first look at it, you think it's bone. And I thought they did a really, really good job of that. It looks really cool. Also helps keep the weight ridiculously light. It's just really, really slick that they did that. You do have that nice divot here in the back, like Ed said. That is typical on almost every Sneakreaper Industries style blade, whether it be from Turner, Copus Designs, Tops Knives with the El Pionero. There is a divot here, and that divot is there, again, like you said, if that divot, wherever you fill that divot, you know the blade's going to be on the opposite, the edge is going to be on the opposite side of that divot. So it was something he picked up from his mom. She used to put divots in her kitchen knives on the street corner. That way she knew, again, when she was sitting there chopping up stuff, she could yell at the kids and not chop her finger off. Ed's words, I'm telling you, I got a video with him talking about that. So go find that one for sure. But guys, this thing is just ridiculously light and it's so quick in the hand. And you even get down to the sheath. The sheath is entirely 3D printed as well. Very thin profile. You have a really nice steel clip on here that you can, looks like you can possibly, you might be able to slide a little up or down possibly. But very slick, ambidextrous sheath. Nice clip. I was actually walking around Blade Show with this thing hooked onto my belt on the side, you know, because I was waiting for Ed to be able to do that interview. But man, this thing, like you guys saw, I was able to just whip this right out of the sleeve of my arm. You easily drop this down your pant leg if you needed to. If you needed concealability, again, check your local laws before you go doing anything. But guys, man, this thing is just such a ridiculously light blade, and it's so fast. It's crazy. Let's go over the specs on this real quick. Overall, you're looking at 15 inches. You have an edge length of 9.5. Blade thickness is 1/16, so super thin, guys. It's not, you know, this isn't going to be like your big giant chopper and stuff, man. This is going to be for quick work, light work, combatives and things like that. Weight on this is 6.5 ounces. I told you this thing is light. This is pretty much as light as a lot of pocket knives, you know what I mean? So folding knives, which is crazy. With the sheath, 10 ounces. Even with the sheath, it's still ridiculously light. This is AEBL steel with a 60 Rockwell hardness, and again, you have the ambidextrous 3D printed sheath, which is super light. Again, doesn't matter which way you put this in, it's going to go in left or right. No issues whatsoever. Draws out nicely. Fairly quiet. All you hear is like a but with the retention on it still. But yeah, I can pull it out nice and easy. So definitely, like I said, if you're into martial arts style combatives, doing stuff like that, this could be a really cool, quick option for you to pull out and do your thing. Or if you just have some light garden work, you need to cut some stuff in the flower beds and whatnot, you know, this is going to do a really good job as well. So, but we're going to get over the testing area, guys. We're going to put this through some stuff. We're going to do some everyday cutting tasks like rope, stuff like that. You know, that's something that you can use this for, no problem. We'll do some wood stuff with it. Again, this is a 1/16 thick blade. This isn't a batoner, guys. We're not going to be batoning with this. If you try to baton through some hard season almond with this, there is a good chance that you're going to bend this or break it. Or I wouldn't say break it, but I would say you're probably going to bend it. Again, I can flex this pretty good right now. You know what I mean? So it's not made for batoning, so we're not going to baton with it. But we're going to do some light woodwork, some light chopping with it on some hardwood too. Check, because you could do some chopping with this. That's going to be fine. It's not a batoner. So keep that in mind as we do the testing. You know, at the end of the day, it is machete. It should do machete work, which is like brush cutting. And I'll go find some stuff out here in the flower beds. We'll cut some stuff up out there too. All right, guys, let's get over to the testing area and check out the TJ Sleeve Machete. All right, everybody, we're over here at the testing area, and you know, we're gonna have to probably leave this testing area so I can go find something tree-wise or bush-wise to cut up a little bit. But when we get to that, we'll get to that, guys. But pull this bad boy out, give you again nice look at the sun. Again, it's just super cool how, you know, how they did those handle skills. Turner CNC, guys, I mean, they're making some really cool stuff. A lot of good EDC style stuff. All made right here in the USA, guys. Really nice guys. I got a whole video with them at Blade Show West 2025. Make sure you go check that out. Go give them a follow. Super nice guys. They have a lot of collaboration designs with Sneakreaper Industries or Ed. So if you're into Ed stuff, definitely go check them out, guys. So again, we're going to get into the kind of EDC style stuff with this. Here we have a catalog. You wanted to come in and you had to like penetrate, stab something. You're going to come in there, do your stab, and you guys can see like that blade is flexing with picking up the catalog. It is, again, a thin machete style blade. We got about about 3/4 of the way through that catalog. The tip is just right there. So if you had to come in and pierce into something, you're definitely gonna be able to pierce into it. Again, about 3/4 of the way through the catalog there. If you had to do a light quick chop on, let's just try to do it. This thing is pretty beat up, guys. My apologies. I need to get some more catalogs. But we're gonna do a light quick chop on the corner here where all the glue and everything is at. This is definitely a harder spot on this catalog to try to cut. So let's see if we can just cut the corner off of this. Choke back a little bit, and oh man, it sounds like a smack. Definitely cut through more than halfway on both of those. Let's try the other corner. Oh, there we go. Took a little bit of that corner off. I was just catching this one in a thicker part, but definitely was able to smack into that pretty good. Holding up nice. I like it. Guys, if you had to come in, again, you got to pierce something. Oh, look at that. Like a razor right into that pant. Oh, it's going to go right through. Right up here, we got the belt loops, guys. This double spot. Look at that. Slicing right through that. So, yeah, if you had to come through and pierce into, you know, some combative stuff, you know, whew, that's going to go right in there. So, we got, obviously, we can pierce into stuff, cut some stuff. We got our EDC style stuff here, guys. We got some, I mean, look at that. Just no problem whatsoever cutting through paracord, guys. So come in here. Had to cut something paracord. Again, if you're carrying this, you know, you might be carrying this backpacking, and you might need to set up some lines and stuff like that, tout lines to, you know, hang up your hammock and things like that. So you got to be able to cut through some, you know, paracord. Here we got some, you know, thicker, slick sissy rope. I hate this stuff. It's so, look at that, right through it. Come in, chop through it as well. Not a problem there. We got this synthetic kind of thicker cotton rope. Should not be any issues. Look, like butter. Come in there, definitely slice and dice if you need to without any issues. Guys, we have the fire hose here. Guys, this stuff is definitely tough. It's made to, you know, go through car wrecks, fire, broken glass, metal, all that stuff. Let's see if we can just slice a piece of this off. Oh yeah, look at that. Not an issue at all cutting through that. Guys, if you're into barbecuing, I think this would make a fantastic barbecue knife as well. I mean, you'd be able to do up your briskets and tri-tips and ribs and stuff like that. Just saying, it could be a really good barbecue knife as well. Bam, look at that. Cut through that pretty easy. Not any issues there. We got this yellow synthetic nylon rope. Cut through that, no problem. Cutting off pieces, no problem. sticking that in the wood, guys, this still has a nice, ridiculously sharp edge. There's no rolling or chipping on there. So that's good to go there. So, guys, we have the extension cord, guys. This stuff is, you know, obviously it's extension cord, copper wire, stuff like that. You had to come in here, cut some of this. Oh, look at that. Cut right through it. Threw down the piece I wanted to chop. Anyway, had to chop a piece off. Bam, right through it. I keep checking the edge because this is, again, a fine edge. It's a thin edge. It's going through the wire. It's sticking in the wood. It's cutting. It's not damaging the edge at all. So, very cool. Awesome to know. So, if you got to do some of your EDC style cutting tasks, rope, clothing, chopping, stuff like that, you're going to be good to go. Now, if you're going to get in here and let's say you have to utilize this to make a tent stake or something like that. That's a pretty small stick. Let's find ourselves a good stick here to make we got to make a heavy duty tent stake, right? So here's a nice thick piece of wood, guys. It's got a little bit of a point on there, so we're just gonna kind of chop that off. Let's grab this stick. Oh, first off, you got these little sticks right here sticking off. Don't need those. Do some machete stuff with this. Drop the stick. No, that's not what you do. Cut those little sticks off. Now you can come in there if you wanted to get this down to a point. You can just shave this stuff off if you want, like so. It's one way of doing it. Togging through the material, no issues. This thing's so light, you're not really going to get too tired doing that. Or you can come in here and, like I like to do it, just do some real quick little light chops. Helps get it down to the point a little bit quicker. And then once you get it where you want it, kind of where you want it, you can come in, dial it in. You can get it needle point sharp for those vampires, or you can have it a little bit more blunt. Whatever it is you need to do, depending, I guess, what type of ground you need to drive your tent stake into, you can do that as well. Now you got to make a notch for your rope. So again, this is super light. I'm going to use the bottom kind of part right here. I like to just roll the knife into the wood, get to about a certain point, and then I like to stop, and then I just kind of keep digging it in. Now you don't want to go more than halfway because you could weaken the stick enough to where if you get a big heavy wind or something like that, it could break. So I like to just kind of go at least halfway. Obviously, the bigger the rope, thicker the rope is, probably the bigger stick you might want, but I like to get it in about halfway like that. And I'll come in, I'll just pinch grip this, roll it right over the top, dig those spots out. Bam, we got ourselves a nice little tent stake. Come in there. You know, works good. I mean, this is a thicker stick. This is actually a dried out hard piece of wood. So if you had to kind of make some tent stakes and stuff like that, you can definitely do it. Now we're going to make some fire curls. So this is a piece of seasoned almond wood, guys. Very hard. Almond wood, when it gets seasoned, dried out, it's super hard wood. Works great for barbecuing, fires, and stuff like that. But, you know, that's why I like to utilize it, because it simulates a really good hardwood. Now, the problem I run into when I'm making fire curls is I got a heavy hand, and you can see I'm cutting these fire curls off. It's making them very nicely, but I just cut them off. So what I like to do, I'll stick the knife into the wood, and then I like to drag the wood across the stick. And I like to do fire curls with hard and soft wood, because depending on where you're at, you might only have hardwood available, or you might only have softwood available. And so it's just depending on where you're at, you know, it kind of makes a difference. And that's why I like to do it with both. Here's another piece of seasoned almond wood. Try it again like this. Again, you can see I'm making fire curls, but I'm cutting them off. There you go. See that right there. And then here's some of the little ones I accidentally cut off. as well. So you got to utilize a softer wood. Like this came off, I think, like a 2x4 or something like that. If you wanted to utilize the softer wood, if you had it available, I mean, this is just eating right into that soft wood, not a problem. Again, I actually kind of prefer to stick the wood in, drag it across. I will note, though, there's something that you may want to watch out for when doing this. That this does have a thinner tip for sure. So stabbing it into the wood, you got to be careful not to go left or right, because you could potentially bend or snap that tip off, because this is a thinner blade. So, you know, is it the most advisable to probably do it this way? Maybe not. Maybe you just got to suck it up and do it the other way, which is fine, but you just definitely got to be careful with that, because you don't want to break your tip off if you can avoid it. So very nice there. It can do some fire curls and stuff like that. Let's get into some light chopping here, guys. So again, here's a piece of seasoned almond wood, a little bit of a thicker spot right here. This stuff, again, is hard. I mean, it's digging in where it's sticking into the wood. Look at that. Nice. Let's check that edge. That's still a nice sharp edge, guys. Again, this is seasoned almond wood, definitely harder. Here's a this was my batoning stick, and part of it broke off doing my mountain man video yesterday, but I'm gonna still use this for a batoning stick, so I need to get rid of this top part right here. I mean, this digs in deep, guys. Gotta get it out. Look at that. Bam. Still straight. And I was chopping right there at kind of like that big knot area. Cutting into this little branch right here that's sticking off, so it's basically like a knot. Gotta be careful, I don't want to hit my hand either, because I'm telling you, as quick, as sharp as this thing is, it will take your finger if you're not careful. Bam. So coming in doing some harder woodwork type stuff, you know, chopping wise, it's going to be able to do some of that stuff, guys. It's, again, I would just be careful taking if it gets stuck, try not to crank left or right too hard, because it is thinner. Again, this is probably made more for doing, you know, brush clearing stuff like up here. Again, like Ed Calderon said, taking out some cannabis plants and stuff like that, you know. Oh, missed. Deflecting off of here a little bit, but that's fine. I'm just trying to cut slivers off, essentially. Cut chunks off. But again, we're also testing the heck out of that edge. Bam. Whew. Still a nasty sharp edge. So, guys, do some of this lighter woodwork type stuff. Yeah, it can do it, not a problem. But let's go find a bush or something, and let's get in there and do some of that stuff, right? I think, because that's what this is designed for. So let's go find the bush. All right, guys, so right here, this is kind of like this makeshift cherry type tree. This branch is hanging pretty low. Come in here. I mean, it's just making quick work of this stuff. Come in again. Got to trim up a tree, a bush, or something like that. You're definitely going to be able to do that quickly with this thing, and you're not going to wear yourself out because it is such a lighter blade. You know, you're going to be able to put a little bit more work into it. Some people would say that maybe if you have to swing more, it will wear you out more. Guess it's all up to the person. I'm not, you know, who knows? I mean, I guess it's up to you and your physical capabilities. Trying to find stuff I could chop that my wife ain't gonna get mad. So right here we have a tree, got a couple of errant bushes, you know, ones coming out. Yeah, there you go. Cut those off pretty quick and easy. I was actually kind of hitting it straight on and it was flexing. I mean, once I came in at an angle, it cut it right off. Not a problem there. Ooh. You gotta watch out for dog landmines too as we walk around here. I know you're walking like, dude, there's all kinds of stuff you can cut. Yeah, there's stuff I can cut and there's stuff I can't cut. But right back in here, these branches on this tree have gotten pretty out of control. So I'm gonna come in here. This is a fairly thick branch. Not bad. Did you guys see this? So thicker redwood branch, kind of. Put that right there. I want to be able to get back here, so you're able to kind of clear myself a path. We got a few errant ones right here as well. I'm just like snap cutting these guys and just cutting them out nicely. So, you know, if you had to come in, do some machete style work on some branches, things like that, yeah, you could definitely come in here and get that type of stuff done. And again, you're not going to have to really worry so much about, well, again, wearing yourself out, I guess. Now me, I'm out of shape, so it makes it a little bit, you know, whatever. It is what it is. I am who I am. You guys know anything about Popeye there. But where we're going right now, guys, I do have one more fun thing. Let me get this set up for you guys, and we'll wrap this up. All right, guys, so it is October. Halloween's coming. We got a pumpkin here, guys. So let's just, again, the pointed tip aspect that he said is, you know, for the combative. So you come in, do a nice, like, slice right in. Look at that. Sunk that sucker right into the thing. But, you know, if you went all the way through, bam, you can come in with a quick thrust in. Oh, sunk that deep. Let me try this angle. Come in, do a nice slice. Follow it up with a nice little slice stab, you know. Very, very quick. You know, if I don't get it stuck in there. Now, guys, I am by no means an expert in any type of combatives or anything like that. I've, you know, picked up a few little things here and there. Nothing crazy. So please, I'm not trying to represent myself as some sort of combatives expert or anything to that effect. It's just realistically, if something happens to most people on the street, they're just going to be blindly swinging wild like that. You know, you're just going to do whatever it is you can to get that zombie off you. Bah! That's the type of stuff you're probably going to be doing. So, but look at that. I was able to take some chunks out. I mean, these look at, I mean, I pretty much carved up the pumpkin without even knowing I was carving up the pumpkin. You know what I mean? Look at that. So, I mean, that's how quick and deep this thing is slicing into this. Very quick, very fast. I would not want to tangle with this thing. I'm telling you guys for sure. So, a lot of fun, guys. This thing is quick. I really like it. I mean, this is awesome for sure. It's a good little, you know, be a good little truck machete. Something like that. Something you keep in your vehicle. If you work on a farm, you know, you might have some trucks type stuff that you got to do. I think it's a cool blade. I think it's going to hold up pretty well. Again, you do have to realize there are some limitations with it, with its thickness, so you don't accidentally bend or break it. But the stuff I did with it, it's still straight and it's still sharp. And well, obviously that pumpkin is not a happy camper. Guys, awesome blade. I dig it. The machine, you know, the work they put into it, 3D printing, making this thing as light as possible, as quick as possible. I mean, can't go wrong with it, guys. Turner CNC, the TJ Sleeve Machete. Go check them out. Link down in the description below. All right, everybody, stay safe, stay sharp. We'll see you on the next one.